Hi, it's Dwyer, gamblersadvisory.com, dwyersportsbetting.com. It's the day before the fight. Ward Kovalev, June the 16th, 2017. Remember, the opinion you should follow should be your own. Just consider this video to be a second opinion from a complete stranger online. Now, I've put a link to a video for the weigh-in that took place earlier today, and it looks to me like Andre Ward was the person who was cool, calm, and collected. It looked to me like Kovalev was a little bit tight. Andre Ward seems to have gotten into his head. There's a moment where the guys are to turn and look at the crowd, and Ward basically is, telling Kovalev he can go first in turning, and Kovalev freezes, right? Kovalev's looking at him. Kovalev is so angry, in my opinion, at Ward. He's so caught up in what happened in the first fight that Kovalev, didn't want to do anything that Andre Ward wanted him to do at the weigh-in. Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. Let's just be clear where I stand on this fight. I thought, like Larry Merchant did, and he was there at the fight, I thought Andre Ward got a gift the first time. I thought Kovalev beat him. Right? I'm expecting the second fight to be a Kovalev fight. Right? I'm expecting Kovalev to land hard punches. I'm expecting Kovalev to take chances he didn't take in the first fight. I'm expecting Kovalev to try to take it out of the hands of the judges. Now, let's talk about actual odds. And again, it's the day before the fight. Right? Kovalev to win by KO, TKO, or DQ right now is a plus 350. Right? That's not the appetizing prop. We're just talking about appetizing props right now. That's not the appetizing prop that really catches my eye here. Right? Remember, Kovalev by KO, TKO, or DQ is a plus 350. Would it surprise you to know that the over-under is 9.5 rounds, the midway point of the 10th round, right? And did you know that for a plus 360, better odds than Kovalev to win by KO, TKO, or DQ, right? At a plus 360, you can get both fighters to win by KO, TKO, or DQ before the midway point of the 10th round, right? That's the under 9.5 rounds, right? The under 9.5 rounds at plus 360. Of all the props out there right now, that's the one that catches my eye the most. Right? Let me also say too, and this video is not for casual gamblers. This is just the risk-taking video here. Right? Keep in mind, I expect Kovalev to win. He could well win by decision. Andre Ward has never been stopped in a fight. He's unbeaten. Right? If this fight goes the same way as the first fight, I'm expecting Kovalev in Las Vegas to get the decision. Because, in my opinion, boxing has a lot of karma, right? If there is a sentiment out there, and there is with these two, that the guy who lost the first fight got a bad break on the scorecards, especially with all of the cards being identical, 114, 113 scores, especially with Kovalev having the only knockdown in the fight. I believe that if they fought the same fight that they fought the first fight, I believe that Kovalev would be awarded the decision, right? So he could well win on the judges' scorecards. But this is the risk-taking part of the internet, right? It's gambling. It's all a gamble. If you're a heavy risk-taker and you don't want to take Kovalev simply to win at plus 125, better than even money, if you want to add to that portfolio, juice it up a little bit while hedging the play a little bit, This plus 360, which is huge for an over-under, this plus 360 on the under 9.5 rounds is very, very tempting. Let me also add this too. Given what happened in the first fight, now I normally don't recommend this, but given what happened in the first fight, this is one of those rare occasions where the draw at 18 to 1, right, a plus 1,800 might be worth you putting a couple dollars on, right? This way, if at the end of the fight they say, we call this fight a draw, you're thinking to yourself, what BS, but I'll stand in line. I have a winning ticket, right? So, the under 9.5, that's tempting at these odds, a plus 360. I wouldn't recommend it. But for the casino, making it hard to resist. Plus 360? In other words, I bet $1, I get that dollar back, then you're going to give me $3.60 in profit? I like that, right? I like that, especially when I'm getting worse odds. Think about it. Worse odds for taking Kovalev simply to win by KO, TKO, or DQ. Let me also say this too. Both guys look ripped. Both guys looked in shape. Virgil Hunter, Ward's trainer, is saying you're going to see a different Andre Ward. I was surprised the first half of the last fight that Andre Ward thought he could beat Kovalev from the outside in. Right? I believe Ward has to try to get inside early. Right? Why? Because Kovalev has one of boxing's best jabs, folks. He's not just a puncher. He's a boxer. Right? If you're outside and you're getting hit with that jab, as Bernard Hopkins found out the hard way, you're getting bludgeoned. Right? Bludgeoned. So Andre Ward has to turn this into a wrestling match. So I'm expecting this fight to be much more intense. Much more intense than the first fight. Right? Much more intense. I'm expecting the action to be completely intensified. I'm not expecting a lot of slow rounds. The guys know each other. The first third of the fight where they're feeling each other out, that's over. They know each other now. Right? Now they're the nasty neighbors. Right? They're the neighbors who don't like each other. They figured that out already. So I'm expecting an intense fight. If you're looking for a pie-in-the-sky play, given that both of these guys have hit the canvas in their careers, right? Darnell Boone dropped both of these guys. Yes, Kovalev was dropped in that first Darnell Boone fight. Right? Given that both of these guys have hit the canvas, given that Ward hit the canvas in their last fight, I'm stunned the casino at a under 9.5 rounds is giving you a plus 360. Right? I wouldn't be surprised if this fight ends within the first 9.5 rounds. Right? That's 9 full rounds, halfway of the 10th. I think the plus 360 is worth a look. Right? The website I'm talking about right now, and you need to check your local jurisdiction. I'm just using this website for reference purposes. I'm not saying use the site to bet on. But right now I'm looking at intertops.eu, a German site. Right? They have a plus 1,800 for a draw. They have a plus 360 for the under 9.5 rounds. This is while having Kovalev by KO at a plus 350. Let me also say this too. Let's say you're convinced Kovalev gets the KO, but let's say you're of the mindset that he's going to get the KO late. This is going to be a war of attrition. that this fight's going to be kind of like Joshua Klitschko, where a lot of action happened after the midway point of the 10th round, right? Well, if you're convinced there's going to be a stoppage, right, just understand, you could take the under 9.5 rounds at plus 360, and then you could take Kovalev by KO at a plus 350, which would cover you throughout the entire fight. The beauty of that hedge is that if Kovalev gets the KO at any time you collect, more importantly, right, and you collect better than you would if you just had Kovalev by KO, right? More importantly, if Ward, who looks ripped, gets the KO, right? And Ward's gotten KOs. Look at the Paul Smith fight, right? If Ward gets the KO within the first 9.5 rounds, you win that part of the bet as well. Think it through. Let me hear from you if there are other props that you're enamored with, right? And I see Kovalev rounds 4 to 6 plus 1,200, Kovalev rounds 7 to 9 plus 1,200. If there are other props you think the people should be looking at and considering, I hope you leave that information in the comment section to this video. Just remember, this is a rematch. It's going to be much more intense than the first fight, where Kovalev thought he had the fight won handily. We know that from his trainer, John David Jackson, and took his foot off the gas late. Right? Keep in mind, too, if Virgil Hunter is telling you that this fight is going to be different from the first fight, well, we know in the first fight, Ward tried to box. What's Ward going to do this fight? Let me hear from you. I hope you leave your comments in the comment section to this video. I do feel that Kovalev wins this one, right? That's how I've structured my betting. That's how I see it. Let me hear from you. Thanks for stopping by.